Hey guys, Wolfie here with a video for City of Final Fantasy Opera DFFOO Global. This is going to be the 10th of November 2020. This is going to be quite a bit for me to go over, some of it old, some of it new. And that's all I'm going to say on that matter. So the old bit's going to be the 8th Lost Chapter information. Now the new stuff is going to be previews for the following Ultimate Bahamut, Dimensions and Tier 17. This is the Entropy, as well as upcoming character event Kurasame from Final Fantasy Type 0. With that, I will be referring to some information from the City database website, so I'll have the link to that in the description below. With that, the usual disclaimer: any opinion in this video is my opinion and my opinion only. Before I get into the actual meat of this video, a few things here or there. I do apologize for not posting much videos as of late. I just returned to work from the paid time off last Wednesday. And to put this as cleanly as possible, I've been getting my ass handed to me at work, so that's that on that. So it's been keeping me very much on my toes, so to speak. Another thing here, I am bunching up a lot of information in one video, so I do have a video log, addressing certain things. I'm not going to go into detail in the video, too much detail in the video log, but I do have something to say, in regards of my absence and the lack of content for the channel, so I do have a video prepared for that. And another thing, let me see here. Let me take a pause so I can, oh, actually, no, wait. Here's the thing. So, yeah. So, with the video log, it's going to be a slight direction change of the channel itself. So, again, that's the whole thing with the video log. And, with that, I'm going to give a report of the free multiple from the 8th Lost Chapter banner. It's nothing new, just 2 more power stones. Nothing spectacular. That's that on that. With that all out of the way, we're going to go into the completion of the Final Fantasy Portal Apps campaign. So it is 100% complete, and we were able to get all the following items you see here. The 100 Tier 5 crystals in each color, so that's 600. For the 1 blue token, 60 blue fragments, 20 guard tokens, 20 weapon tokens, 10 draw tickets, and 500 gems. You guys remember my opinion on this, it still stands. And that being, I just feel really disappointed with the draw tickets and gem being the 4th tier. It should have been the 1st tier. You put, and by that, have it as a 1st tier. The tier of 5 crystals in the 2nd tier. The bloom token, bloom fragments at the 3rd tier. The weapon and armor tokens being the final tier. That's the order where I feel it should have been. But it is what it is at the end of the day. You have until the 20th of November at 7:59 UTC, at 7:59 AM to collect these rewards. So, there was an update to the Square Enix Bridge server, which is multiple games that are under it. There was a 4-hour maintenance period for this, so little FYI. And, with that bit out of the way, we're going to go into some gem sales here. So there is the 7-day gem sale for the 8th Lost Chapter. It's going to be the same exact thing here for Kurasame's event, which should be showing up tomorrow night for those in or near the United States. So it varies on what you get and the price. So that's that on that. And for those of you who are Android users living in the United States that's affected, there is going to be a sales tax for those who are Android users in an area of the United States where there is a separate sales tax involved. I live in one of those states, so little friendly heads up with that. Now we're going to get into something else here. So with the Kurasame event, there is going to be an alternate costume for Kurasame. So those of you on JP know what it is, what it looks like, that sort of thing. And I do want to warn everybody with the 8th Lost Chapter, it is the first one, believe it or not, where you get to see the introduction of a couple of things, and one of those 2 things is that with each Lost Chapter, and it's starting with the 8, you're going to have the Lufenia difficulty fight as the final fight within the Lost Chapter. So the number of fights, say, where you have to have a featured character in your team, like per Lost Chapter, it's gone down by 1. Because you have your level 80, level 100, then you have your Cosmos, Chaos, and then your Lufenia difficulty fight. So Lufenia is at 200. I do want to reveal here, it's a bit of a spoiler to Global, is that there's going to be a Lufenia Plus Eska difficulty coming up in the future. So you think Lufenia is going to be like do all and be all? It's going to get slightly more difficult when the content come in the Global in the future. The reason why I know this, I am in communications with a JP Global Hybrid player on Twitter. This is how I know this. That's that on that. So with the 8 Lost Chapter, you have 8 King and Quistis as synergy. You have Warrior Light as burst weapon synergy. And with the 8 banner, you have the debut of 8 LD weapon. A little forewarning, 8, as far as I know, does not have his he does not have his 80 awakening on JP as of yet. As far as I know, I had to double check with Quistis and King. So 8 and Warrior Light, they do not have their 80 awakenings on JP as of yet. So we do know that his LD weapon should be coming back in the future. We just don't know when. Same thing for Warrior Light and his LD weapon. But with the banner, it is one of those where the Warrior Light burst weapon will be available in. So that's it on that. And with that, we're going to go into the preview of the following content. So this is going to be next week, the 17th of November at 2 a.m. UTC. This is going to be 8 p.m. Central Standard Time on the 16th of November. And this is going to be, again, it's Ultimate Bahamut. So basically, this is where Kuja from Final Fantasy IX, he gets his LD and burst weapons. Here's the thing with Kuja, I will be 100% real here, is that he is surprisingly a bit of a skippable one for a few reasons. One of those reasons is going to be a character coming up later on in November, and he is a very sought-after character. It's Gladio, this Final Fantasy 15. So Gladio, he is coming along. He is a heavily sought-after character. Before I go any further, I will have a couple of videos, like special presentations coming out later on this month. One of them is going to be at Kurosame. The other one's going to be on Gladio. These two are sought out in their own right. Gladio a little bit more so, but for those of you who may have forgotten about the videos I did on Arciela and Kais, or Keys, however you want to pronounce his name, I will interchange the pronunciation. It'll be one of those videos where it's like I go over the pros and cons for both characters, because here's the thing with meta characters in mobile gacha games. No one character, to reiterate, is a must-have. It comes down to individual resources and your individual situation. If you already have certain characters that fulfill certain roles, then the meta is not as necessary as people claim it up to be. And for me, if I were to hype up a character, and it's any kind, I would go a more fair route, saying this is the pros, this is the cons, because Kurosame does have some stuff here and there to, be mindful of when you're using him in a team setup. And the same thing for Gladio. So with that, for Kurosame and Gladio later on this month, I will be doing the eyes on Kurosame, eyes on Gladio. I just want to make sure I do my research, get the information as correct and complete as possible. That way, when I do those two videos, it's going to be all gravy. Now, I am still working on the some mental preparation for the Leon character Spotlight. He is from Final Fantasy II. That one I'm still doing some mental prep on. And just a friendly reminder, so Leon is the November Spotlight character. 7 for Final Fantasy Type 0. She will be the December person. And January, February, I'm still undecided on both. So with that, here's the thing with Ultimate Bahamut. So again, like I said, the reason why he's a bit of a skippable character is that one of them is Gladio. And another thing here with Kuja, you do need to be mindful of in a sense, but not really, is that Kuja is one of those characters whose LD actually returns. He does have an 80/80 awakening on JP, and when his LD returns, it's around the time that Y'shtola from Final Fantasy 14 gets her LD and burst, so it's around that time. So if you're like, kind of like, okay, I gotta be mindful of my resources, which characters do give me the better RNG, that sort of thing, you have to be, so that's the type of mindset I have. So for Kuja, he is a very painfully hard skip because of that, because I'm like, I don't have as many resources as before, and my RNG on Global as of late has been really bad. I do have to be completely honest. And the thing is another thing that Kuja has going against him is that the burst LD weapon that comes after him. And that's the one I'm going to be going after as opposed to Kuja. For those of you who know me well enough, I'm referring to Lightning from Final Fantasy 13. I will pity that woman's burst weapon if need be. Although, I will reveal something right now with some of my resources. Now, I mean, for me, it's like, I am in position right now, as you can see my burst weapon token numbers. I'm in position to actually token it if I have to. Now, let's just say Lightning's burst and LD weapon banners have a free multi in it, and I somehow get her LD right out of the gate. That means I don't have to worry about using my resources to go after her burst, because I will be in a position where I actually have my hands on her burst weapon with the tokens, and I can think about going after somebody else instead. So that's that on that. So with Kuja, he is a skippable because of the fact that Lightning's burst and LD weapon, she is next. She's coming in December. And some people do have her hyped up to a good deal. Because she does, I mean, her LD, yeah. Once we get to the LD and burst weapon in December, I'll explain a little bit more on that. But the whole thing with, that's the thing with Kuja is, you know, he is a bit of a skippable one because of timing. Granted, he's really good. But you're talking about Gladio, his event, where it's very heavily hyped up. And then you have Lightning, her personality. She is a hyped up character in her own right. And believe it or not, Gladio, according to some, he is being used to this day at JP. But like I said, I do want to, you know, present a more fair video because, again, one can hype up the video, certain characters all they want. But you have to keep it real. You have to provide some drawbacks so that people are better prepared. Because you can't just blindly hype up somebody and not provide the flaws that they have. So with Ultimate Bahamut, you know, Kuja, this is where he gets his burst and LD. His LD comes back, so for those of you who are thinking about resources, this is probably going to be a good time to farm them. For me, I'm at this point, before Kurosama shows up, I'm at 9 for 9 for everybody on treasure notes, so that's why I'm like, I had to be a bit more mindful of my resources. However, I do have means to, you know, get everybody boosted, all that good stuff. So, without Kuja, he is joined by other magic users for synergy. This includes Lula for Final Fantasy X, Rydia for Final Fantasy IV, Porn for Final Fantasy IV, Papalimo for Final Fantasy XIV, and I believe Garnet for Final Fantasy IX shows up as well. Now, the thing is with this particular synergy for Ultimate Bahamut, you have a bunch of people who can heal and imperil varying elements. So that's pretty much the theme here. Yeah. So the whole thing with Porum, she's going to be a must for the Ultimate Bahamut Chaos Challenge quest, and the reason why she is going to be a must is for the sole reason that she is a support unit. She's going to be busy as F keeping the team alive. That's her role, and that's why in the Chaos Challenge quest, she is going to be a must. And she is one of those characters that's worth investing in on all spectrums. Now, for the character enhancement boards, You will be seeing Kuja and I believe Papalimo. Don't quote me on Papalimo, but I do know Kuja's character enhancement boards will show up here in Ultimate Bahamut. So basically, I had to pause the video real quick, so my bad. But basically, yeah, Kuja is one of, I believe, 2 or 3 characters whose character enhancement boards show up here and now. So that's down that. So you need to have Bahamut at level 20 before taking on the Ultimate Bahamut. So I won't be surprised if this is the last one once another aspect of the World of Illusions show up. So that's on that. So this is the preview. So it's pretty much a magic theme. So for the passes for Bahamut, like Odin and to a lesser degree Alexander, it's like you have to look at your individual units and how you want to develop. Because if you look at somebody like Celeste, you do not want to have magic resist on Celeste. And the reason why I say Celeste must not have a magic resist on her is because she absorbs magic damage. You want to make sure she absorbs as much as possible. And if she's at least half of max HP, she does not die. So that's the whole thing with one of the Bahamut passes is that you do not want to have the magic resist on her at all. You wanted her to take the damage, quote unquote. So that's that on Ultimate Bahamut. So, but yeah, just to reiterate here, Kuja does get an LD and burst weapon here. And with that being said, his LD shows up one more time at least. And he is a bit of a skippable character because of stuff that's coming up after him. Now we're going to go into the preview of Dimensions in Entropy Tier 17. So it's going to show up on the 17th of November at 2 a.m. UTC, which is 8 p.m. Central Standard Time on the 16th. It has 3 waves: Lunatic Commander Beast, Lunatic Lamia Queen. So these are tough against ranged attacks and pure groups and can't prevent your characters from recovering bravery, so you might as well do this sort of thing. So you cannot bring in Warrior Light here at this point, but you might as well have other characters who deal melee or magic damage and can put out the higher numbers, so to speak. So last but not least, this is going to be the preview of the Ice Reaper, the Kurosame event. So this is him. Like I said, he does have an alternate costume coming up. I will be pulling for his gear in a rather unconventional sense, meaning that, well, I'll explain why a little bit. So this is the information you have here on Kurosame. This is Class Zero's commanding officer and academic advisor. Once celebrated as one of the 4 champions of Rum Rum, he is known as the Ice Reaper. His attacks literally sending chills down his enemy's spines. Though appearing cold-hearted on the surface, he truly cares about his students and quietly watches over them. So yeah, this is skill 1 and skill 2. Skill 1 is called Ice Blade Renzan, which is a base use count of 5. 4-hit element melee brain attack and HP attack. This is a single target. Increases target's active hero level by 1. Grants Quiet Instructor to self for 4 turns. The level 55 crystal passive, which is the Ice Blade Renzan extension, has 2 more uses of the skill. Brave attack hit count becomes 7. Largely increased cumulative brave damage. Stolen bravery may exceed max up to 150%. While Quiet Instructor is active, brave attack becomes brave attack plus. HP attack becomes HP attack plus. And this is a 2-hit ice element melee brave attack for the brave attack plus, and the HP attack is ice element. So that's down that. You have here Multi-Blizzaga MIS2. Has a base use count of 5. The 3-hit group. So this is pretty much a AoE split. Inflicts 1 level of Hero on all targets for 3 turns, limit 5 levels. Hero raises 1 level of inflicted target's turn until level 5, then returns to level 1 after target's turn. So the extension here, which is the Crystal Strength level 60, Brave Attack hit count becomes 6, tremendously cumulative Brave damage, Stone Bravery may exceed max up to 150%, and Hero level goes up by 1. So you have here the additional ability, Brave Up Blizzard Slash additional ability. It's a 2-hit, it's a single target thing. So it has the information you see here. So you have the level 70 crystal passive, so that's that. So Hero basically is the thing is with Hero is that you have to look at this like Fang's additional ability, because with Fang's additional ability, you hit that off right away, and then everybody gets to have. Now everybody, let me rephrase this. So with Fang's additional ability, she has the means for the entire party to deal out additional HP damage. So Hero, you kind of think of it like that. So it's pretty much what it is increases HP damage taken, lower speed. So that's all this stuff right you see here. So Quiet Instructor raises party's max bravery and attack, grants ice enchant to self. And then you have the ice enchant, so anything not elemental becomes of the ice element. So, like I said, I'm going to be doing an eyes on Kurasami here, because this sort of thing with these self-enchants, I do have some questions about this. And some other information, that will come out as spoilers for Global. But Kurasami, he is an excellent unit in his own right. I'm not going to be doing an event video for this one because, like I said, I went back to work after some paid time off last Wednesday. I've been getting my ass handed to me at work, so it's more like I do have to keep more focus on my job than I do making content, so I do apologize. So with that, so it's one of those is more like, who do you really need on your team more? And amongst other things for those who are newer players. So what do I think about all this? So we have a decent amount coming out in the coming days. Now, I do feel that I'm going to bring up the November calendar if I can find it. Yep. So we have here the information on the November calendar. So we do know that later on this month we're going to be seeing Gao's Lost Chapter. So I think that I do think that, let me try to rephrase this up. So what's going on in the month of November, I do feel that it is a bit of a quiet month for Global. Now, with Ultimate Bahamut, there's like a good amount of resources coming along there. That, it's just it's just awesome in all regards. Now, with some of the alternate concepts coming along, I'm trying, I really can't say much about that. Because, it is what it is. So, with that being said, Kurasami and Gladiator, I'll have separate videos on those. I'm going to be doing the same style with Arciela and Kais back in the month of June. Making sure, people know the pros and cons, because no unit is perfect, and no unit is an absolute must-have. The only time a character is an absolute must-have is if you're brand new to the game. So that's all I'm going to say on that. So, I did say something about the plan for Kurasami's banner, and I'm going to reveal certain things about certain resources. Now, you see here with my weapon tokens, I'm at 77. Now, I'm going to reveal certain things about what I have passive-wise. So, as you guys can see here, because you're looking at my progress, nevertheless, is that I'm going to reveal the plan in a minute. So, as you can see here, I very much have every 15 and 35 CP weapon passive available in the game up to this point. Now, you're looking at the number I have, in the sense of the number of the weapon tokens, is that I am at 77. What's going on, Wolvie? Now, The thing is, because I'm at 77 weapon tokens, that means I do not have to spend as much of my resources on Kurosami's banner as possible, because I can just whip out 25 of the weapon tokens, go after his 35. Same thing with Gladio. Whip out the 35 weapon tokens and go after his 35. I could go after the first character event in December and go after their 35. Because I'm at the point in the game right now on Global where if I have enough of the weapon tokens and I like the character, I don't have to spend as much resources on certain things as I would be in the past. Now, one of the things that I don't have to really worry about is the 35 CP weapon. Because I have the next 3 characters, instead of the character events, I have them locked in guaranteed. So, and that's something, I should be proud of. That way, I can focus more on EX and LD weapons for newer characters. Especially those I like. Because, hey, what better way to, guarantee yourself something than by having the ways of getting the 35 guaranteed. And that's something I would much rather have. So like I said, that's my plan on that. So I do have the need to get Kurosami's 35. Now, and this is especially if I have to pity either Kurosami's EX or LD weapons. Now, with the burst weapon tokens, I'm in position to go after Lightning's burst weapon with 50. And the reason why I say that is because there's the Mod Pass for December. I am planning on going after the premium because, for me, I was thinking this over for a while. And I do feel that the premium is much more worth it than the standard. And that way, once I get the new pass, I will be at 50 of the burst weapon tokens, and all I need is Lightning's LD. And that way, I can preserve some of my resources. But you know what? Everybody is on their own path. Everybody's trying to play the game their way, and that's perfectly okay. So with that, I'm going to be posting this almost as soon as I get done filming it. So with my final thoughts, I do want to address certain things here and there, but it's not pertaining to me. It's more about the community itself. And something I would really like to see from the community a little bit more is that people start to ask questions first as opposed to assuming things first. Because the thing is that with Warrior Light LD, that's something I actually had to pity. It's the 4th LD pity for me. And I think I remember getting a response on Twitter, and the person assumed that I didn't farm the boards. And like I said earlier in this video, I'm 9 for 9 up to Kurosami with everybody's summon boards. It just so happens to fit me that I have very bad RNG. This is something I actually had to explain. And because I explained it, it made me look really bad. It made the person who was summoned look really bad in turn. And being a day 1 player, it sucks when people assume things before asking. So for me, if there's something I would like to see more out of the community, is to ask question first before assuming. Because it's going to make everybody look bad in the end. So on that note, I'm done with this video. With Wolvie here signing off, I will catch you all on the flip side.